Welcome everyone, very excited today to bring us this super powerful Bloodmage for the particular season and also league. And looking over here, my friend Roy is demonstrating to us that he has over 40,000 life regen per second. So let me show you guys some screenshots of the power of this wonderfully broken Bloodmage. I won't use the broken, very powerful and also well built Bloodmage build. We don't want, developers to nerf it, right? So my friend Roy's Bloodmage has over 10,000 life. He has over exactly 350 strength, which scales with tons of life. He has none of the other things. So he doesn't have mana, doesn't have spirit, doesn't have evasion, doesn't have block, doesn't have resistance. So how does it work? He does have a big number hit though. So here his Elbow First Blade is hitting for 7 million DPS during the battle. so how does he survive and how does he do this magic powerful build that is one of the strongest scaling defensively, offensively build in the meta right now for the patch? So let's briefly have a look at the tier 15 Delirium runs in the tower just to demonstrate the build. Firstly, the build has amazing screen clear. The build can clear pretty much everywhere on the screen when you're pretty much shooting fireworks of purple purple projectiles, yes. And the build itself has a lot of mobility coming from the boots and also coming from the character itself. The build has insanely high regen. You saw a blink over there, and that was coming from the Headhunter. So the build can acquire modifiers from the other monsters and also have extreme mobility, scream clear, tons of life, insane life regen over 40,000, and the damage number is bonkers. Because you're scaling with maximum life for both defensiveness, offensiveness, and you have pretty much 100% critical chance with a Bloodmage, scaling with a lot of critical damage, it is a very well-rounded build. You also have tons of threshold resistance to stuns and also other whatnot together with movement speed bonus. It is incredible. So what is happening is, here we are playing as a Bloodmage that scales with increasing life cost as we cast our spells. And we have two major fire ability spells that is now converted into chaos damage. But with the special lineage gem we're using, the chaos damage will also provide us with extra physical damage. So we're triple looping. Oh, that was a delivery boss. Did you guys see that? So let's have a look at the damage again. It's hard to see the damage because monsters are just dying before you even see them, right? So this is a tier 15 delirium boss, and you saw him and he was gone. He was just like any of the charge knobs. Anything touches your projectiles or your fireworks melts away, and it's wonderfully beautiful that it bounces everywhere. So yes, coming back to the build, we're scaling towards maximum life and also skill cost, and this provides us with amplification of damage, survivability, and as you cast spells you will start to spend over 3,000 life per spell cast, but your regeneration stack up so much that you get over 40,000 regen. So in hindsight, of simply to summarize, if nothing can hit you for over 10,000 for your maximum life, nothing can kill you because you'll regen everything back instantly. The build also have a really good way of damage reduction through the Tailsman and also through the Ascension of the Bloodmage, which will delay damage taken, together with using the potions that recovers the damage taken over the next period. It kind of loop on itself to provide you with additional damage reduction, which will go through in the skill passives. And just watching this, wonderful gameplay makes me want to play the Bloodmage. Now for those summoners friends out there, a good thing about the changes to the patch is that now we can change ascensions. I do plan to change into the Bloodmage, so I was super excited to learn from Royal, who we have learned him from in the past. If you guys remember the Temporalis Bloodmage and also one of the strongest Stormwaver I've seen in Season 1 coming from Royal. We also have videos about that, and very thankful for him for sharing this build, taking his time to explain to me so we can learn what does the endgame look like for an ultra strong Bloodmage. And my friend has mentioned that you don't even need to invest this much or have this much life. When he was around 3,000 life, he was killing every content, everything in the game, and now he's got 10,000 life and 7 million DPS. So that said, I'm sure you guys are interested in seeing the boss fight. So here we have one of the ritual boss. The boss build is so fast. Now, it might look a little scary because his life dropped down for a second, but keep in mind his life regen is 40,000, so the boss will die in like 1 or 2 seconds. You also have ways of using your second weapon swap to increase your damage, having great casting speed, and just a great well-rounder. you do so much AoE damage, you don't even have to aim and everything dies. So yes, very excited to share this build with you guys. And again, a big shout out and also thank you to my friend Royal NZ, who is also in my guild, to share this amazing build. If you check out his YouTube channel, he also chanced multiple headhunters. He also has some incredible achievements in Path of Exile 1. So this is also the video he posted. For those of you who want to check it out, this is a short summary of the video that he just posted. So what we're going to do is, if you come over to the Builder's Guide, you can see that the Builder's Guide is incorporated with all of his current gears, also with adjustment using the Headhunter, which you saw over there, which will go through the skill rotations on the final part. There's also the Darkness belt, which you can use. So there's a Headhunter and also the belt of darkness, which give you, more stats for the socket gems with even more life and also higher scaling. The Headhunter is very versatile, stealing buffs and also getting additional monster effects is also very powerful. How should we start is, let's come over to the choices of the uniques and also how the core mechanics of the build work. Once you understand this, then you can decide whether you want to go with my friend for the ultra late game, which you actually have no resistance, or you want to take it a little slower, still build for a resistant build during the meantime. So keep in mind, you do not have to transition into a Bloodmage like this. And one moment. Definitely very excited to share because I want to go into the Bloodmage as well after trying out everything I can with the summoners. So what my friend Royal said is he did follow Captain Lance starting off the Bloodmage, and there's a lot of transitional guides for the Bloodmage. So I want to bring you guys one of the strongest Bloodmage for the endgame, so you know where you can stack and also progress into and what are the items you wanted. What is the core concept of the build is over here. Let's look at the offhand first. The foci over here is a unique foci in the globe, and this one allows your no-channeling spells cost additional life. Now remember, the higher the cost of the spell, which Bloodmage uses life for spells because of the ability to do blood magic and also to recuperate life. So higher life cost means your spell deals more damage, and also scaling with maximal life, you now have increasing critical hit chance and also increasing damage. And this item can be valved for even higher stats as well of multiple sockets. So you can see my friend here, 2 sockets, and both of them went into life. To follow from this, you kind of know the direction of the build is to stack a lot of life. And here, this is the optional helmet, because if you go with this ultra endgame helmet, you have none of the defense mechanics, but don't worry, you're regenerating so much, it doesn't really matter. But if you find yourself a little short on life, you're getting one-shotted, you might not want to go into this helmet right away. Going with a normal resistance helmet with tons of life can still work in the mid, early, even late game. How does this unique helmet work is the Veil of the Night provides you with 50% maximal life, and in the demonstration my friend actually had a valved, the corrupted version, with about over 60% maximal life. The alt attributes are nice, but remember this helmet, the punishment or the drawback is it removes all elemental resistance. So that's why he has no resistance, but he's so tanky with so much life regen. So having this helmet is both a benefit and also a downside if your rest of the items are not scaling enough maximal life. And this is why the Chrome's Heart over here provide us with a flat 1500 massive maximal life, and this can be multiple socketed with life percentage gems with 3% maximal, with 2% maximal life, no 3%, wait, hold on, this is the maximal life gem, right? Yes, this is the maximal life gem we're looking at, and actually, this is socketed with 2% maximal life on kill to recover the life. You can socket maximal life too, but I think my friend went for the maximal life on kill. And here, you can valve this one for even higher maximal life, and you can also valve this one for multiple sockets. Keep in mind, having this chest piece also means you have no spirit. So this is why here we have nothing, nothing built. So we have no resistance, we also have no spirit, but we do have, let me move my head, I realized I was blocking a little bit, we do have 40,000 life regen and 10,000 life, and also a lot of DPS. Now that we look at 3 of the essential uniques for the final, or I guess super ultra endgame version of the build, One good thing my friend mentioned that not having resistance or not needing resistance is that he can look for some really good other stats other than resistance, because he doesn't need defensive resistance. So for the rings, he is going for increasing casting speed, which is both offense and also defense. The faster you cast, the more you spend life, the higher the regen you get. Of course, the faster you cast, the quicker they die. He is also going for a very high strength ring with implicit also casting speed. The cold damage is not a big deal, and the rarity of item found means that he actually got some really good loot. So to show you guys over here, I'm not sure if the rarity contributed, but at the final fight, when he was showing to me, he found 2 Omens of Sanctification, which are selling for over 1 Divine Siege. So he can find a very strong rare ring and then get casting speed, rarity, more casting speed, more strength, and anything that doesn't have to have resistance. And then he duplicates the stats on the other ring using Color Dust Touch. So this unique ring duplicates the stats of the best of your best rare ring, and then this means you just need 1 good ring and this will duplicate it. In terms of the amulet, over here we have additional stats, lots of maximum life, casting speed, spell damage, all spell skill ranks, and we don't need spirits over here, so the amulet is less demanding. In terms of the gloves, yes, we're gonna get to the weapon soon, but there's a lot of stats on those items. In terms of the gloves, we have fire damage attacks, physical damage attacks. Remember, we're scaling both fire, physical, chaos, lots of damage attacks. We also have increasing rarity. We have triple socket that is valved and crafted, and we also have lots of strength. So 100% effect of socketed items means those sockets provide you with 40 times to 80 maximum life per socket, which is pretty massive over here with a maximum life. So we're looking at, well, how much is that? 120, 240 maximum life because of the choices of the 100% socket items. It might be a little harder to acquire those gloves. I believe my friend crafted those himself, and he bought a number of bases, then he crafted them, then he valved them, and took many tries, keep in mind, so this one won't be cheap. In terms of the boots, it's similar. You go with maximum life, a lot of movement speed, lots of strength, and then try to get multiple sockets for even more movement speed. So you can have 100%, 100% socketed gems, and then you go with a 10% movement speed, the ruins over here, the ruin of the chase, of course. In terms of the weapon usually have plus ranks to all 5 spells. This is level 5, together with spell damage, critical hit chance, critical hit damage, extra fire damage, or casting speed is very good. Prioritize on getting casting speed, and also fire skill levels will be great. This is also added with the Ascendra's Rune of Wisdom over here. Now, we do have a secondary weapon swap, so we're using a Chimney Staff. I'm sure you guys know about the Chimney Staff, and if you didn't know, Sigil of Power is a buff that we usually do before the boss, and it gives us tons of damage. Let me show you guys over here. So, coming over to the boss, you can see that before the boss, we're going to do second weapon swap, Chimney Staff, then swap back, and then we're standing in the circle and just boost our damage massively. And the Chimney Staff is very good. We also have even, plus 5 skill ranks to 7, but it's not that needed. So just the Chimney Staff is great for secondary weapon swap. Now, it's not done yet, guys. We still have a few important key pieces for the gears. One of the very budgety and also very great piece for the gear is the Blood of the Warrior. This actually provides you a little bit of life drain, but we actually want the unique effect. So the effect is not removed when unreserved lives filled up, and then up to 30% of damage taken during the period of this flask is recouped as life. This is very important to recoup and also gain tons of life recovery, up to, you guessed it, 40,000, 43,000 life. So this flask also gains reach when hit by enemies, but that's not the biggest deal. You just wanted the life recovery or life recouped. And how is this combined? We're going to skip forward a little bit. Yes, quite excited for this build. So how this is combined, it is also working in, symmetry, working in perfect union with this particular passive ascension. Grasping Wood for the Bloodmage allows 25% life loss from hits to be prevented, and then that is taken over 4 seconds. So first you prevent 25% of the damage taken, and you will lose life over 4 seconds, right? And then having this flask now coming back means that the life that was supposed to be taken over 4 seconds will be recouped. And you kind of are pretty much getting away with 25% damage reduction with so much life regen. Because again, you regen in so much life, damage that is flat over time doesn't really hurt you that much. In terms of the charms, we have 3 different very unique charms. The first one is the Nascent Hope. And this one is used when you become frozen, and this helps you to get rid of frozen. Very simple. Rite of Passage, this is very good. The Rite of Passage will provide you with additional buffs when you kill rare or unique monsters, and my friend is going with the Rite Passage of the Bear, which provides maximal life and also it provides damage reduction. So going in for the Spirit of the Bear, possessed by the Spirit of the Bear is the best way to go. You can also go with a Hydra, I believe, with the tentacles, that is also very cool. Finally, the Fall of the Axe. When you're slowed, you're unaffected by slows, you gain Onslaught effect. Now, we're coming over to the passive very soon. Let's briefly go over to the juice and also socketing, and there's some really cool hidden mechanics over here. Now, we naturally get as Bloodmage Life Remnant, and Life Remnant allows you to restore life, and it's the goodies. So here, because I'm not a Bloodmage expert, I'll briefly go through the supports. Because the builder site will be available, it should be easy to follow. So Life Remnant is coming with Harmonic Remnant and also together with Remedy Potency. You might be wondering how come he's not socketing all of the sockets. There is a small trick and also 300 IQ combination I'll show you guys very soon. It comes from the passive tree. This is the reason he haven't socketed those, and he also have random spells. So Sigil of Power is the one coming from Sigil, the Chimney Staff, the second weapon. So it is a second weapon swap that buff a character for more damage. It has prolonged duration, it has a greater area effect, second wind number 3, which also provides lower cooldown. And over here, we also have cooldown recovery. So second wind, the number 3 also provides us twice as much cooldown usage. It actually provides us with multiple usage and restores 2% life per second cooldown of the supporter skill. So yes, the life restoration is actually why we wanted the second wind. And then we try to reduce the cooldown a little bit over here. Now, Ember First Blade is one of the fire spells that will be converted into chaos damage and then also gains bonus physical damage. It is combined with Atas Bloodletting. I cannot pronounce. Alus Bloodletting. This is the lineage spell, lineage gem that is the core part of the build. So again, we're gonna skip over to the passive, which will come over soon. One of the ways this build actually have purple projectiles, you might be wondering how come it's purple? It's so cool, right? So it has purple projectiles because you're converting fire damage into chaos fire damage or chaos damage. And this means you also contributes to the flammability and also magnitude and also deals chaos damage over time. This is why it's purple. So right away you can see your fire spells are becoming chaos damage spells. So Ember First Blade is a major damage spell, and the Bloodletting skill gem now allows us to provide 2% damage as physical damage per 10 life use. Now keep in mind, my friend is using this spell, and I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but in the stages, but pretty much the spell costs over 3,300 life to use, and this means this bonus cost of spell damage, because you're stacking a lot of life. While stacking a lot of life, you'll have a lot of spell cost in life because of that unique focus. And because you have so much cost of life for casting a spell, now the cost of life is scaling towards increasing damage, 2% per 10 life, and 3,000 life is like 600% extra physical damage. So the build deals so much physical damage coming from this particular gem. To follow from that, we have Unleash, we have Fire Mastery, which can be changed into the other lineage gem with Dallas Desire, which provides you with +1 and also 10% quality. My friend haven't gotten to that yet, so still tons of room to improve. We also have Considerate Casting, and also we have Super Critical. Now, the second fire spell we have is going to be Fireball. This is combined with multiple projectiles and also forking and also map clear. So we have Nova Projectiles, Unleashed, Considerate Casting, Fork, and also Fire Mastery. We also have passives that allow us to fork even more times. So this is why you see there's so much fireworks going on, and in the maps it just explodes and more explode. It's like multiple fireworks, which is actually visually pleasing. I quite like it. It's like the fireworks build. Now, the interesting part is, over here, a lot of skills and also socketing here are not really to be used. So the spells we don't really use as much is Enfeeble. We have a great curse to reduce damage taking, because if you don't get one-shotted, you kills everything. We have Heightened Curse, Focus Curse, Efficiency, Prolonged Duration, and also here we have Darius Undoing, which is another lineage gem for cursing spells. This one will reduce the damage enemy deals to you, and this is very good to keep us alive. So why do we have the other spells and also support gems and not use them? This is the part we come over to the passive tree. Now, in order to give you guys the best insight to the passive tree, some of the things might not be showing on the builder's guide, so I also have my friends the path of builder ready to show you guys more information. So let's dive into it. You can tell I'm super excited, and this is the build I want to get into after summoners as well. So, firstly, one of the reasons we have so many random socketing of gems and also of the random spells is because of this passive. German enthusiastic, I cannot pronounce names, but what you're saying is if you have at least 10 red, 10 green, and also 10 blue support gems socketed, you gain 5% maximum life, 5% movement speed, 5% maximum mana is not needed for this build because you have no mana. So 5% life, 5% movement speed coming from getting random supports in the sockets. So yes, he have placement holders of red, green, and also blue gems just to have them having over 10 numbers to benefit from this particular node over here. That's pretty cool, right? So this is why over here, you have this particular point. My friend also mentioned if you find yourself in trouble against particular area like Ignite, Shock, or Chill, you can come over here and become immune to that, just having a majority of the socketed gems. He tried to balance perfectly again, but you don't get immunity to all three. You only get immunity to the highest one. So if you all have 10, I don't know if that works, I don't think it works. So one of them has to be the highest. But he was having so much threshold and also resistance, he didn't really need this. So, one of the bigger parts for the build is also coming from Undying Hate. This is what you call it? This is not the Trouble to Amunu. This is the tech code. Oh, it doesn't show, so this is not great. So, good that we have the video, right? So I definitely need to write the notes down. There are 5 different bases. Remember I was teaching you guys how to craft it. Royal was the one that taught me how to craft the Timeless Jewel. So, the Timeless Jewel we're looking is going to be Tech Road. Where are we? Let's see, we are, okay, it's over here. Sacrifice of Blood. Takrot is the sacrifice of blood. Notice here it says Takrot. Yeah, this is the one we want. Look at the base. This is the Takrot base we want. I think in the builder's gem it didn't show correctly, or maybe it did. So Takrot is what we wanted. We want to convert into this particular keynote, this one, the Val pack, into the special keystone, Sacrifice of Blood. This gives us regeneration of life per life spent, and this is how you get to 40,000 life regen. It also provides you with more life cost of skills. Isn't that better? Because you scales with higher life cost of skills, you deal even higher damage, and you get even higher regen. So the negative is actually a positive. This is the reason that Takrot, the skill gems or the timeless gems are selling for 3 times the cost of the other ones, other 4 over here. Is because blood mages just want this gem, and once it's socketed in, it gives them so much regen. It is incredible. And unlike traditionally what I do over here, notice I perked everything, and I didn't really go for this because it's not the right one. It's not the right one. For the blood mage, you actually just wanted this. Everything else is a bonus. It's not that much needed. You can go for those if they're good, but most of the time, my friend went for the other juice. So, what are the other juice? Maybe it's a better summary if we come over here. So, in terms of the other juice, this is the most important one, of course. To follow from that, we have the Grand Spectrum. The Grand Spectrum will provide us 2% maximum life per socketed Jew, and there's 3 of them, and you can have maximum 3. So that is 6% maximum life per spectrum, and that becomes 18% maximum life. And those are socketed accordingly on the skill passives and in the Jew section. And finally, my friend has found some really good rare sapphires, and that provides him with critical chance for spells, spell critical damage, because you have so much critical chance and critical damage, the build scales very well for the highest multipliers. Again, KS damage, spell damage, critical damage, critical hit, spell damage, chaos damage. So you get the gist of the ideas for the Sapphires. And you can see he actually has 7 juice, which is incredible. The way he path this tree is actually amazing. So he started here. And for those of you that is not high enough level, he does not recommending you go all the way down there, because you might not be able to reach all the points. So you can go here and have the timeless Jew over here, and then change Mind Over Matter into the Sacrifice Blood. And then you can path over here for the criticals, for the chaos damage, increased chaos damage, movement speed, and also more critical perks over here. But once you have gotten over 88, level 90, level 92, you can consider pathing over here, down here. And you can follow the secondary weapon swap as well, for both offense and also defense. I think that should summarize most of it. Oh yes, let's come over to the ascensions. So this one is a great defensive ascension. And of course, for the Bloodmage, ideally you want to come over here as quickly as you can for the higher base chance of spells, and then coming over here for even higher critical damage bonus, and you have so much life, it's incredible. It is optional to go with spell damage Lich as life, and this allows you to basically have a little bit of comfortability. You can come over here to have increased life regeneration rate, and also you have the curses. Enemy, you curse have at least 15 of life reserved. But you can see my friend is not really cursing enemies. So during this time, oh gosh, I have so many things. So I think, one thing I do want to show you guys, bear with me, technical issues. So I'm gonna fast forward. Oh yes, you gotta see my friend's the hideout. It's got a very interesting hideout. So this is a Jew I want to show you, because I don't think the builder's guide will show you correctly. So I use the recording to show you guys. Some of the Jews are not correctly shown. So that's good you watch the video, right? So here is the Jew that is not correctly shown, because if I come over here, this one is gonna be the wheel. The wheel? I didn't really show. So one of the unique drills my friend is using is called the Heart of the Wheel. Whale. Oh gosh, my pronunciation is so silly. So here what you want is 13% of Lich is instant. This is a crafted desecrated Jew that comes with a lot of random effects, and my friend crafted this himself, I believe. So you can see the critical damage, spell critical damage, a lot of critical related, but the Lich, this instant, is also very good. This is before you stack up your regen, and this gives you additional layer of defensiveness. You also regen 1.5% of maximum life per second if you use your life flask. This is also incredibly powerful. And remember, using life flask, it's very good because you get so much regen coming from that life flask. Now, coming back to the builder's guide. Now that you know the majority of the build, you can see this is a very well thought of build that has both defensiveness coming from maximum life, has tons of scalability coming from maximum life, and the negative of having higher spell cost becomes a benefit, because the higher the spell cost, the more physical extra damage you'll deal coming from this gem. And together with the ability to have even greater movement onto the movement speed boots, and then having the headhunter means you have a bit of additional steal of blink coming from the monsters. So to finalize, let's have a look at the skill rotations. I really love to learn Royal's build. Every season I'm looking forward to his build. It never disappoints. It's always the best ones. So, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. The skill rotation is quite simple. So okay, I think there's something I do need to share. Did I remember this one? So there is one spell that I'm supposed to talk about. It was a Spark, Ancestry. Oh, maybe it's not sure. It's Sigil Power. So I think it's one of those. And let me double check. Now, one very important tech that I also missed because it wasn't in the Path of Builder and it wasn't imported over here is actually using a secondary weapon with a Spellslinger spell. So the dueling one over here provides you with a spell called the Spellslinger. If we come over here, a lot of people are actually asking about this spell. So here we're trying to get the remnants. So briefly having a look over here at the replays that my friend was showing me, Spellslinger is actually socketed. So Spellslinger is also the wand we have currently as a weapon. So let me show you guys over here. So the weapon we have, the main weapon is actually a dueling wand. So the Spellslinger Slinger spell is coming from this weapon, because I believe the builder's guide didn't have this incorporated yet because it's a new spell, so that's why you don't see it. So there is a skill link you don't want to miss out. So Spellslinger, coming from the free weapon spell, is socketed with Snap, and which give us more Infusion Remnants, and together I'm going to wait for the things to go forward. Is it going forward? I think it's a little slow. Followed by Snap, it is also socketed with a Boundless Energy that provides you with additional energy to the supporter spell. Now the supporter spell is a spell that charges with energy. Once it's charged, you will infuse and make your other spell stronger. So finally, we have Harmonic Remnants. So there's additional chance of creating remnants, and also remnants will buff your spells. So what that means is, if we come over to the actual game replays, and over here you can see Spellslinger is his Q ability. Whenever this spell is charged, because you gain charges with the remnants, and once it's charged, he's just quickly casting it to infuse and also buff his other spells. So this is a great addition that you don't want to miss out, and because it was in the builder's guide, so make sure you understand this as well. Now in terms of skill rotations, perfect timing, right? You're rotating between the two fire spells. One fire spell does a lot of damage, the other one does great AoE clear. And both of those, by casting them, cost you a lot of life and gives you a lot of life regen. And that is pretty much the build. You don't really have to curse much unless you're really facing a strong boss. You curse them so they don't one-shot you. And after that, you just pew, 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 and you firework them down. Now, you might be wondering, how come he's blinking around? So you notice here he was blinking around. This is actually a special affix he stole from the rares. So yes, with Headhunters, you pretty much get a bonus life because his life is over 11,000 because of Headhunter. You also got tons of auras, stats, and also a free blink most of the time with Headhunter. So this is why he is running Headhunter for most of the clears. There is another version that is more tanky, probably scales higher with damage, with the Darkness Belt. And you can get this one corrupted up to 122%, socketing in flat life gems, gives you a lot of life, and great for damage. But in terms of utility, Headhunter is definitely up there. And my friend even corrupted the Headhunter to give implicit for bonus life, and that's around close to 40 bonus maximum life implicitly corrupted for Headhunter. And that should summarize everything. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Again, big thank you to my friend Royal, who's been teaching me so much about PoE 2, and love to learn from him, and also excited to share his wonderful build with you guys each season. So a lot of you has been asking me, man, why are we always looking at summoners and minions? Because all my friends play the best meta build. I'm waiting for them to, find the time to share with me so I can share with you guys. And the best thing is, if you're playing summoners, we can easily change the Ascension from Infernalist or from Lich into Bloodmage, and we don't have to level again. This is incredibly good feature. Next week I'll be diving into the Bloodmage and try to see if I can help to make the Bloodmage even more broken or stronger. Okay, other replays will be available for you guys to have a look. Here we have a tier 15 run and also a boss fight, and you get to see the power of the build. Now hopefully you guys found today's video helpful. Again, a big thank you to everyone on YouTube, especially our supporters, and also those of you guys who's been supporting me on Patreon as well. And we do have a new feature on the Mattjestic YouTube channel. If you click onto this, you can become a member. Yes, I've added this just recently, and this will allow you to have early access to videos that is posted a few hours or even half a day earlier if you want to watch those videos a little early. But yes, this will cost money. So please be aware the membership will cost money. And if you do want to watch videos normally, those videos will still be available after 6 to 12 hours, normally on the time we post those videos. And I'll be aiming to post at least one Path of Exile video a day. And this will be including guides, tips, news update, and also the latest tricks that is discovered on both the English and also Chinese community to keep you guys updated. And if you like those videos, make sure you leave a nice comment and also leave a like for those videos. Now, before we finish, if you guys haven't subscribed, this is a really good time to do so because I'll be looking into the latest Path of Exile 2 news on different communities and also on our official forum, official webpage. I'll also be looking into the best build for each of the class as the meta develops with the Chinese and also the English community. So stay tuned for the latest update and also guides for Path of Exile 2. And of course, this is gonna be a big month for us. And I'll try to bring you guys all of the latest content and also guides for Path of Exile 2 to come.